Most popular websites have numerous animation effects. You might be so used to effects that you fail to notice them while using the web. Think of sliding galleries, hover over, or cursor effects. Applying effects to web pages is an essential skill for any front-end developer. In this video, you will learn what effects are and briefly explore common effects being used currently. So, what exactly is an effect? The formal definition of the word effect is a change that is a result or consequence of an action or other cause. Animations are a type of effect that has brought lifelike quality to web pages, and today they are an all-pervasive part of web development. In other words, animations are graphics in motion transitioning over time. The idea of animation had been around for many years before technology was good enough to integrate it into online experiences. The graphics interchange form, or GIFs, can arguably be labeled as the first attempt to bring effects to web pages. The first GIF ever created was of a moving airplane by Steve Wilhite in 1987. GIFs were followed by Flash animations. Flash made it possible to add audio and video components, as well as create dynamic websites. But Flash needed a special browser plugin to work, and that was a major limitation. When CSS came into use, it provided a simple, easy-to-learn solution that also made it possible to manipulate formats such as scalable vector graphics or SVGs. There are plenty of programs and libraries that front-end developers can use to add animation to websites today. Libraries such as jQuery and PopMotion add fantastic visuals to sites. The downside is that they are hard to learn and can increase the development time of websites considerably. CSS, on the other hand, is still popular for adding effects to websites because it is easy to learn and simplifies web development. When it comes to basic animations and effects in general, CSS still offers more value in relation to time and resources. With some practice, CSS can produce surprisingly good effects. The possibilities for creating effects with CSS are endless, yet some effects are more popular than others. You will now discover a few that you can effectively create with CSS. The hover effect, which you learned about in the previous lesson, is possibly one of the most frequently used effects on web pages today. Developers use it to show that an element is matched by highlighting it in some way when the mouse hovers over it. Examples include the lightening or darkening of an element, or even other effects that highlight the placement of the cursor. Another popular effect is changing the appearance of the cursor. Instead of the conventional arrows, you can add animated effects that change the color or gradient, and so on. You are surely familiar with sliding galleries and slideshows. They are commonly used to display collections of images or text boxes. And then you get video backgrounds, which are commonly added to the top of the screen to illustrate movement. An effect that gained popularity since its introduction is the parallax effect. It gives users the perception of depth and dimension with foreground elements moving faster than the background elements. It is likely that you are familiar with the back to the top effect. It is a simple element like a button that enables quickly scrolling all the way to the top of the page from the current button placement. Developers commonly use element and color transitions to emphasize focus on objects as users scroll through web pages. Full screen snapping is a quick transition from one page to another that occurs automatically while users are scrolling. Now that you are familiar with some popular effects, let's briefly visit the pros and cons of adding effects on web pages. The primary driving factor of web pages these days is to attract the attention of users. Web pages that use animation and effects optimally keep the attention of users without overwhelming them. Effects help highlight the special features on a given page. CSS styling and effects improve the creativity and aesthetics of websites, but too much of it can also lead to distraction and drive users away from the page. Besides, more animations increase the size of your CSS files, which can cause your web page to load slowly in areas with low bandwidth. Nonetheless, effects improve online experiences in general and are especially used to create intuitive navigation. You should now understand what effects and animations are. You also got a quick overview of the history of effects and the most popular effects used on the web today. Lastly, you explore the benefits and disadvantages of adding effects to websites. Websites without effects are not only dull, but users also have a hard time finding their way around such sites. Mastering CSS effects will enable you to create web pages that users love to use.